my sweat time. Gonna bust up your behind. This is my sweat time. Gonna mess up your whole mind. This is my sweat time. Gonna bust up your behind. This is my sweat time. Gonna mess up your whole mind.
Welcome to Work the Left Side. This might be a new look. I'm not sure how it's all going to work yet once it's all done, but we are joining you from StreamYard. So I had to do something. I couldn't not do a True Grit Hype episode with the boys. So I am joined by Paul and
Hello.
Dan. Gentlemen, how are you?
Yeah, all good. Ready for Friday.
All good this, isn't it? Oh, I can't wait. It's another banger show, isn't it?
It's just, I was talking to Dan before you came on, Paul. There's not a bad match on the card. Every match it's got my interest. There's something about it. I'm emotionally invested.
Absolutely. Every match. Yeah, every match has got something on the line, hasn't it? Every match you could be excited for.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to think, has there been bigger stakes across the board? 3 titles on the line, 2 massive grudge matches, and then Joey Slade.
Yeah.
Which is doing 4. Sorry, my mistake. Yeah.
4, yeah. 4, yeah.
I'm really professional. Me, well prepared.
Yeah, we've got 4 titles, 2 grudge matches, and then obviously the Joey Slade Harley Harris match, which has got a story involved. So every match has something. And I posted on social media the other day. This is why True Grit is on Triller now, because they have been working at this, and they're just building up that momentum, and they've just got storylines within storylines. They've got things going on. There's no exhibition matches on the big shows. Everything means something, and you just want to see what happens next before they even release any matches for the next show. You're already like, right, I want a ticket.
Yeah, but even the so-called exhibition matches lead to something. They're either a banger match or they've got an outcome. Like we've got Alexis Falcon won a return to True Grit last time out against Melissa Fierce, which was a great match. And next show she's facing Rio for the women's title. So that's it. There's just nobody doing it quite like True Grit at the minute. Like you say, the stories within stories, but as well, they're doing something that very few wrestling companies do. And I'm talking right up to the big boys of TNA, AEW, WWE. And the stories intersect. The crossover into each other, the leave, and that intersection doesn't happen a lot of places. Like as a fan, it was the Monday Night Wars. We all 3 of us grew up with that. That was at its best when stories on either channel were intersecting. And I don't want to get all poncy and talk about world building, but it did get to feel that way. Little backstage stuff and stuff like that, where you go from one storyline into another. It is just fantastic.
I think what I'm liking about it as well is like the stories that you get from there. Even us 3 could all have different interpretations of where that story is going to go to. And you look at the predictions, there's not many people that are predicting the same thing's going to happen. Nobody really knows. Sometimes stories can be, you can sort of guess where they're going to go. Nobody knows what's going to happen with Joey Slade and Harley Harris. No one. It's not predictable. No one even knows if there's going to be a match at the moment, like with the history. But, how's that going to end? Who fantasy books it? Which way you're going to go with it? That's what's exciting about it. It's not predictable.
Yeah, even within the tag team match, for example, we've got Nashboat trying to hold on to the titles, get a winning run together. They've had 2 wins so far in True Grit, but within that, they've got Misery Business. Is Joe Wade going to turn up? Is he going to bother? I'll be honest. I posed that question on Twitter. He responded with probably not. So.
The thing is, Alan Kay might not turn up this time. He might repay the favour. It might be Alan Kay that doesn't turn up. You just really do not know, do you? It's not predictable at all.
I don't see Alan passing up a chance to punch Nash in the face. But you say about the unpredictability of it. We run our little. I run our little prediction league, and we have a laugh with that. And the reigning undisputed champion of the league is young Master Thomas, your lad. But looking at our predictions from last time, there was only one match where we all agreed on the winner out of a 7-8 match card. So yeah, it's a beautiful thing. True Grit's on a hot streak right now. It's just bloody brilliant.
Yes. Not just the matches as well. Obviously, another storyline thing, another arc is this will be the first show where we get Bobby Cash and Ivy as co-GMs. So
yeah, that was definitely a spanner in the works that nobody saw coming.
Yes.
Yeah.
But Ivy, to her credit, off to a good start, making the Rio versus Alexis Falcon match. Can't go wrong with that. Did you see the contract signing video?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Dare I say a little bit one-sided against Bobby Cash between JC and Ivy, but I'm sure that was just circumstantial. Bollocks. Yeah, sorry. Little catch in your throat there. But yeah, it's going to be dead interesting to see how that dynamic works, how what goes through who, if will Bobby and Ivy have, what autonomy will they have throughout the show? Can they override each other's decisions? Does JC get final say? Which if he does, then nothing changes.
Yeah, I was wondering whether it was going to be, Ivy does the York shows, Bobby does the left bank shows. Could it be almost like a split division? That's another thing that we're possibly going to find out on Friday. How's it going to be run?
I don't see JC giving Bobby full control of any show, to be honest.
No.
We'll have to put another petition out.
I like that idea.
SmackDown versus Raw left bank versus
yeah.
Right. The matches, we're hyping them up. Have you got a list in front of you, Dan, or am I going to work my magic and turn my brain on and try and remember?
I've got them, don't you worry. So we'll start with the matches that don't have titles on the line. We'll start at the bottom of the barrel, Joey Slade. And that's not doing a disservice to Harley Harris at all. Harley's fantastic and has been great in True Grit from what we've seen. It's just we don't like Joey Slade at the minute, do we? After what he did. But he's back. He's getting put up against one of his hellbound brethren, sister.
Compadres. Amigos.
Yeah. And to be quite honest, I really hope Harley gives him a good old battering.
I think she's more than capable of doing so. Harley is badass, and she can definitely teach him the error of his ways, shall we say.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, it's a test of his loyalty, isn't it? Is he loyal to Harley? Is he loyal to the regime? That's what it's all going to come down to.
Yeah, and will we see Sash? Will we see Franco? Will we see Brad? Will we see it? Will the money pay off? Yeah, dead interesting to see where this one goes. Whatever happens, if it does get down to violence, it will be a banger match. Because regardless of what you think of Joey, and we've already said how great Harley is, it's going to be a banger. It's going to be a cracker, and I don't think either of them would give any quarter or ask any, to be honest.
No. The match itself would be awesome. Obviously, prior to his actions, I was a massive mark for Joey. I thought, the guy's awesome. He's been doing this. He's 19 years. It was his birthday the other day, so happy belated birthday to the treacherous little scumbag. But he's 19 now. He's been doing it since he was 10. He knows his way around the ring. He gets the psychology. He knows what he's doing. And Harley knows just as much. So, yeah, this is just going to be, if it does come to fisticuffs, I think it's going to be just a very stiff, solid, 10 minutes of just back and forth. My heart says Harley to win, but, I can see them progressing this and Joey winning.
Is that your pick?
Yep.
Yeah, I think I've got Harley for the win on my prediction on the Discord page. I think it's going to be maybe via disqualification. I think that there's going to be some involvement that maybe gets a disqualification for Joey Slade. But yeah, I'm not too confident that Harley's going to be feeling good at the end of the night, whether she wins or loses. Unfortunately, that's the way I see it going.
Yeah, my end
I'm
take
predicting
would
shenanigans.
Yeah,
Sorry,
Yeah.
I want Alton Thorne to come in at some point. You know, if Joey does dirty by Harley, big boy Alton's got to come in to teach Joey a lesson. That's my long-term fantasy booking.
Oh, we've got another face joining us.
The big boy.
I'm here. Yeah, there's definitely going to be shenanigans. So the stupid part of my brain,
All of it.
is, yeah, most of it, is thinking that we're going to get Joey and Harley in the ring. They're going to face up to each other, and then we're going to get a finger poke of doom.
Oh,
And Joey wins, and Harley joins, and we're getting sort of a hellbound regime, like the corporate ministry coming together.
yeah. Oh,
And I don't know if I'd hate that or love it, but I'm also with I think I'm with Paul. Like Harley winning by DQ, and Joey would not think twice about battering his mate.
Yeah,
we've seen him do it to Wes, who's one of the most likable people in wrestling. I can see him doing it again, but Harley getting the win by DQ.
so
You put that idea in my head, Paul. But if that finger poke of doom thing does happen, I will officially retire from predictions.
I must admit, I predicted a lot of DQs, winners by DQ. I think that I had like Sash when it was Sash and Busick. I think I had like Sash via disqualification. It don't really happen that often in True Grit, does it? So could be a first, but yeah, I'm not sure. I've not really seen many end via disqualification.
So is that first time?
Yeah. Could be the exception to the rule.
So 2 for Harley. I'll say Joey on this one.
That's all right. You keep one foot in the regime, Nick.
Yeah, I will do.
Next up, we've got one of the other grudge matches. We'll save the stipulation one till last, so we'll go for HT Drake versus Ollie Burns, also known as Priscilla. Now, this one is deeply personal. Urge anybody out there to go and watch Ollie's promo. Obviously, True Grit loves Priscilla, first ever Pride champion, stalwart of British wrestling for God knows how long. Incredible character, incredible person, incredibly entertaining. But this is Priscilla. This is the person behind Priscilla. The gloves are off. This is... Well, it's hard to tell. Is Ollie coming for a fight? I'm sure he is. Or is Ollie coming in expecting a beating? Or is it both? What do we think?
Paul, I'll throw it to you first.
I think that I've got HT Drake to win this one. I don't think it's going to be the only time or last time that they're going to meet. And for me, I think that the challenge was made to Priscilla. And I think when Priscilla wins, it has to be as Priscilla. So for me, I've gone for the HT Drake win. I don't think this will be the last match. I don't think it'll be the last time they meet. So I think I've got HT to win this one.
I can see that. It feels like this is going to run on.
I hope it does.
Yeah, because Drake's been trying to find something in Priscilla, in Ollie, and bring it out. is it going to happen first time we get Ollie Burns in the ring? I think we're going to see a very different wrestler.
Yeah.
Obviously. But sorry, I'm jumping in, Nick, because I'm long-winded way of saying I'm agreeing with Paul again. I do think it's going to be Drake, but it's going to be a match that I am so intrigued to see how different Ollie performs to Priscilla.
That's the thing about it. Like it's the unknown, it's the unexpected. Like, so say if it's Priscilla versus Drake, we could kind of probably fancy book it. We'd have an idea how it would go. But it's Ollie versus Drake. It's like, yeah, you know what? How does Ollie approach the match? Is it going to be technical? Is it going to be a street fight? Is it just going to be fucking all out? You know, just aggressive? Are we going to kind of get the? I can kind of imagine, you know, the old school ECW Sandman moment where Drake's just beating down Ollie, but he's just refusing to quit. And he's like, keep, you know, give me more. I'm not going to quit.
The Tommy Dreamer thing when he was whipping him in the kendo, sticking him in the ropes.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. You just get Ollie. You know, Ollie's just refusing to give in, but something's got to give. And then it's kind of like, yeah, you know, Ollie can't beat HT Drake, but Priscilla can. You know, Paul called it. There's got to be a follow-up match. There's got to be this. This has got to be an ongoing thing. You know, we talked about storylines beforehand, and this is something that I want to see build until, like you say, we get that moment where it's Priscilla versus HT Drake. You know, Ollie gets his confidence back, and somehow, or you know, he's able to withstand so much that he kind of earns HT Drake's respect, and then we get the Priscilla versus HT Drake match or something.
Yeah, there's a few ways that can go with this, but I think it all comes into a HT Drake win. I think we're going to see a much more violent side with Ollie Burns wrestling rather than Priscilla. And it's gonna be again a banger.
Yes. Oh, I'm excited for this one just because it's like I say, it's the unknown. It's something we can't call. I can't even begin to imagine how the match is going to go. That's just really crazy exciting. So HT Drake for the win though, just to keep it going.
Okay, that's all three of us agreeing. So that's a surefire sign that Ollie Burns is going to win. Excuse me. Next up, the big stip, the big grudge match. Sean Only versus Billy O'Keefe in a last man standing match. Now, these two, it's been going since, I think the newsletter said, since the back end of 2023. Or was it back end of 2022? Yeah. So that's 2.5 years, pretty much, on and off. And Billy's come on leaps and bounds, as we said in the previous episodes, Nick, between us. He's going to the moon. Yep. Sean Only is Sean Only. He's always dangerous, always a great watch, and always great to boo the shit out of. We got a quarter of an hour in at first swear word. The thing is, I've seen Sean Only in this kind of environment. I don't know if you guys have. Going back a few years now, JC's Russian cousin, Boris Kozlov, had a feud with Sean Only in Rise, and that culminated in a Russian chain match. And that was one of the most brilliant and brutal displays I've seen in a British wrestling ring. Sean Only will go to incredible lengths to win this match. He will put his opponent and himself through hell. And Billy, I don't know if he's ever seen anything like this. Or ever seen this side of Sean. And I honestly am probably going to have to flip a coin to call this. My heart says Billy O'Keefe. My head says Sean Only, and we're going to go on to another sort of stipulation match to keep this rivalry going, even though it feels like this should maybe be the blow-off. You know, this should be the final encounter. You know, does Billy win and gain Sean's respect? Or is Billy not quite there yet? And Sean, being the wily veteran, wins and then demands another test. What are you guys thinking?
I think that I had Billy O'Keefe for this one, only because I think in order to keep that rivalry going, if it is going to go on, because Sean only got to unmask El Bilzo, so I think that this would make it 1-1, and then it sets up a decider. I can't really see Sean only getting 2 grudge matches on the run. You know, like the hair versus mask match, and now a last man standing. I don't know whether he'll take them both, so I'm going for Billy this time.
That's a good point. I was leaning Billy as well. I somehow completely forgot the mask versus hair match, much to my shame. But that just shows how much good stuff there has been going on. Nick, what about you?
I'm going to shout out Billy on this one. I think if it's either to continue it, that'd be amazing, like Paul says, for it to be 1-1, or if this is the last match of the feud, I think Billy's got to win either way. If it's going to continue, Billy needs to win, to remain strong, to look a threat, to be worthwhile of Sean's time. Or if this is it, Billy's got to be the one with his arm raised at the end. But with it being a last man standing match as well, don't discount, Supersonic Sammy Blue or Gung Ho Muttley or, some sort of outside shenanigans, maybe. But yeah, I think Billy, we've said it before, I'm expecting Billy to be challenging for the title in the next couple of years. So these are the matches that Billy's got to win to get himself kind of implanted into the fans' hearts as being somebody who can do that within the next couple of years.
Yeah. I think, to be fair, you're right. And if there is some interference from, Sammy Blue or Gung Ho Muttley, we could even, fancy booking, because that's what we do on Work the Left Side, we could even end up going to a Blackheart tag team match. Sean Only and Gung Ho versus Billy and Sammy, at the next in York. That'd be great. I'd love to see that. Or, run back a triple threat. Billy, Sean, Sammy, Gung Ho, Sean, Sammy to face Billy, or one of the other, one of the 3 students to face the master, sort of thing. There's so many ways it can go with it now. And then, again, we were saying it before, this is the beauty of it. We just don't know which way it's going to go. But we all agree again on Billy O'Keefe. You've taught me into it, lads. Yeah. Don't know if that just means I'm easily led. But there we go. We all best stay out of Sean Only's way if he hears this before Friday.
I'm really looking forward to seeing this, though, because I've not seen Sean Only in this environment yet, and I've always wanted to see this sort of match with him. Like that, my first match that first show that I went to was the Jacobs Ladder, and I know that I saw Lou Nixon and Nathan Black in a strap match, but I've always wanted to see some rough match involving Sean Only, and I finally got it. So I'm really looking forward to this one.
Oh, it's going to be about.
It's going to be a treat.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm just trying to see if that Russian chain match is on YouTube. I don't think anyway. We'll do that another day. I think it got taken down, or it never existed. The footage got corrupted or something. But anyway, shall we talk some tag teams next?
Yes, go on. Let's talk about the Misery Business Boat versus Nash Boat versus Crash Boat.
Sad Boat, Nash Boat, Crash Boat.
Yeah. Sad Boat.
First question: does Joe Wade turn up? Not part of the official predictions.
I think yes.
You think yes?
Yeah.
Nick hopes so.
I hope so. Just because I like seeing Joe Wade in action. I'll be good if he doesn't. But it would make sense if he doesn't. But the wrestling fan in me, again, Joe Wade is somebody you could put on a poster, and I'm excited for the match or for that show just because like Joe Wade's there. So yeah, I hope he does turn up. But if he turns up,
go on, Nick.
I was gonna say, if he does turn up, and then just batters Alan, I'll feel bad for Alan. But at least I'll have still got to see some Joe Wadey goodness.
Well, I think he will turn up. but I don't think he'll actually get in the ring. I think we're going to see a
Or
weird
maybe
walkout.
after the match.
No, I think he's just going to turn up, do the entrance, stand on the apron, dodge the tag, and piss off. For what it's worth, I think because we're building to something here with this, and you know, the sort of the rule of three with certain things. He no-showed the first match. He'll show up and then leave in the second match, and then the third step's got to be a confrontation.
Yeah.
And we'll find out who's misery and who's business.
That's what the AMAs are for. That's what the True Grit Club is all about. This is the kind of sort of stuff that we should be getting. You know, I want to see an interview with these two guys, either sat down together or separately. You know, I want to see a barbershop moment on the True Grit Club.
But it's in a tattoo parlor or something, or just like in a little rock, in like a dingy little rock bar somewhere.
Yep.
Alan Kay gets a pint smashed over his head.
Sorry, Alan.
Yeah, sorry, Alan. It's first time back in True Grit for Crashboat for a little while as well.
Yes.
Can't quite remember the last time they were there, but it's been a couple of shows.
I think it was the Survivor Series match, weren't it?
It was actually, yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Well, first time back as just a tag team then.
Yeah.
Obviously, they were teaming with the Survivor Series with Wes and Joey, but yeah, nice to see him back as a duo. And Nashboat and Nashboat. On the Patreon, the pre-match preparation interview dropped, and I don't know if that was the easiest or the hardest interview Piper's ever done, because those boys were just messing about as they do. I'm just going to throw it out there. I see Nashboat retaining this. What about you, lads?
Yeah, me too. Yep, I agree.
Yeah, I've got the same.
Across the board, we've got to start disagreeing because this is 3 out of 4 we've agreed on now. At least we disagree on.
I think we might disagree on the women's. We'll see on that one.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Any more thoughts on the triple threat tag before we move on? Apart from the fact it's going to be entertaining as hell.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be, like I say, it's going to be crazy, but it's going to be intense. It's going to be that weird combination of just chaos.
And potentially a new story starting. We'll see what happens with Misery Business. If they do split, though, Thomas will be heartbroken. They are his favourite tag team. So
I was gonna say your lad will be gutted, won't he?
Yeah, he will. Yeah, he loves them. He absolutely loves Misery Business.
It'll be hard for you because you'll have to cover over one of them on the wall and move them to another section.
yeah, move them over the other side. Yeah.
Okay, Unified on Nashboat. Next up, we'll go for the. Well, Joe, Nick, you alluded to it. We'll go to the women's title. Rio, fresh off a little tour to the US, successful tour to the US. New Progress Women's Champion, just won over Super Strong Style Weekend, defending against Alexis Falcon, who's coming back for the second time since her injury. So, Nick, you said we might disagree. Which way are you going?
I'm going for Falcon. I think Falcon takes it. I think Falcon beats Rio.
Okay.
Wow.
Any rationale behind that, or just a good gut feeling?
Just the logical side, the non-wrestling side of me think, like I said, Rio's just coming back from the States. She's just getting huge. She's amazing. Fully deserved. I don't think we're going to have her on these shores for too much longer, so I'm kind of expecting her to, workload to go down a little bit so she can go elsewhere. And if that means, obviously dropping a few belts here and there, I think she, the True Grit title will be one that she drops, but she'll put Falcon over and make Falcon look like $1 million before she goes. But obviously the main event, I don't know if would both the main titles change on one night. Not thought about that.
Oh man. I love watching you turn your brain in knots.
Well, But yeah, the main. Oh, damn it! I'll stick with my guns. I think we're gonna have a double title, main title change.
Well, he's giving away his pick for the main event as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, Falcon to win. Just because it keeps it interesting. You know, every now and then, a title change is all right every now and again, just to keep it fresh. And yeah, but on the flip side, we've had a heel male champion and a face female champion. Switcheroo time. Face male champion, heel women's champion.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna. Sorry. Actually, we'll go for Paul. Your pick first.
You know, I was toying with this one as well, and it was exactly what you said at the end. Should Nashville retain? Should Kemper win? Should Rio keep the title? The only heel champion is Adam Bolt, and that's if he retains, of course. But yeah, you do need that. Everybody chasing the heel for a champion. So I was toying with it. I just don't think it'll be Alexis Falcon just yet. I've still gone with Rio to retain.
Yeah. One thing. So the only thing that puts doubt in my mind about Rio retaining is, where's the belt? What's Ivy done with the belt? Because it has to have been Ivy done it.
Yeah.
It just has to have been.
Yeah.
Who's nabbed the belt? If Rio comes out without the belt, shenanigans. Co-general manager shenanigans. Because it's
Not
just
thought about that,
how the regime go, isn't it? If Rio comes out with the belt, Rio all day long. Because Rio's just won the Progress women's title. She's got a match coming up for the ICW women's title against Lana Austin, which, again, will be a banger, as I'm sure the match with Nina Samuels was. Because the match in Vegas between Rio, Nina Samuels, and Vert Vixen was fantastic. Rio just doesn't have bad matches. That's the rule. That's the law. It's difficult because Alexis Falcon on the first go, aided by the regime, who may have already helped out Joey Slade earlier in the night. It's a lot of regime. Are the regime trying to belt collect? Do they want the women's title and the men's title? I am going to go, purely because I don't think both titles will change hands on the same night. I'm going to go Rio as well. Yeah, it just, as great as Alexis Falcon would be as champion, and as bloody good as this match is going to be, and, you know, on paper we're talking potential match of the year contender. Well, for a few of these actually, but particularly Rio versus Alexis Falcon in a championship match, given the championship minutes, it's going to be superb. I don't think we've seen enough of Falcon yet, but I would be more. I wouldn't be mad if Falcon won.
If she doesn't win this time, she'll win the next one. It'll be like a Brady Kemper thing where they have a couple of matches. I think Falcon will eventually get the belt. Purely as well down the line. Imagine her returning ZZ versus Alexis Falcon. That's your face. That's chasing the title.
I was just about to say that I think that was going to be my bold prediction. I think we'll see the return of ZZ on Friday.
Wow.
Or the next show. At some point, she's got to come back to address Ivy, you know, being there as well.
Yeah.
And that would make sense if Alexis Falcon is Ivy's handpicked champion.
Yeah.
Because obviously Ivy's retired now from in-ring competition, so ZZ can't get to Ivy, but Ivy can get to Ivy's champ.
Yep.
Oh, I'll talk myself into changing my pick to Alexis Falcon in a minute. No, stick to your guns, Daniel. Stick to your guns. Right.
Stay strong.
Moving on.
I think that ZZ will save Rio.
Ooh,
I
that'd be
think
good.
ZZ will be the one that helps Rio keep the belt. That's my bold prediction.
What if Rio
I think it
held?
may
What if
start a feud between ZZ and Alexis Falcon. And then in the near future, I think that we're building for the big one, ZZ versus Rio.
ZZ
That's
say?
just my wild,
what if
way
ZZ
further down
still?
the line.
What if
Sort
ZZ
of
stole Rio's belt?
Sorry?
What if ZZ stole Rio's belt?
Yeah. Yeah.
I love saying these things because I know Nick's like just like and just absolutely shitting his pants over the prospects.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be
So,
a belter again.
yeah.
Penultimate match, Pride title. Adam Bolt champion, Tony Wright challenger. I keep saying this, but every match is going to be good, but this match is going to be good. Like very good. Adam Bolt gone from strength to strength in True Grit. I think this is now the third defense of the title, fourth. Off the top of my head.
You had the triple threat.
Yeah.
You had Jason Joshua.
Yeah.
Was there another one? I can't remember. Was there another one?
I think, has he already defended against Tony Wright?
No, Tony Wright was against HT Drake last time.
That's right, Festive Forearms, yeah.
Anyway, it's probably about third defense. And Tony Wright's always great, always popular with the fans at True Grit, whether it's Leeds or York, because Tony's brilliantly done both. I just say that because I want to see more. I want to see more and more faces coming to York and on the card as well as in the stands. This one we're going to have the Jackie T factor to contend with. Well, Tony is, and obviously us as fans watching. It's a difficult one to call because I don't want to see the Pride title bouncing around everybody. Because I want to see somebody take it and have a really good, meaningful run. But would I rather it be Tony Wright or Adam Bolt? That's the hard bit. Do you know what? I'm going to throw it out there. For me, Bolt retains.
Paul?
I've got the same about retain. Yeah.
I say Adam Bolt. Yeah, the dudes. I've hyped him up so much. Anybody who knows me knows my appreciation for Adam Bolt. I just think the guys, he's the Mr. Perfect. He's the Shawn Michaels. He's the Dolph Ziggler of True Grit. The dude he can sell ice cubes and an Eskimo, as the saying goes. But his offense as well. He's just so good. You can't help but get emotionally invested in his matches. And yeah, he's just kind of him with the Pride title. Just kind of reminds me of the 94-95 HPK. With the IC belt. Just think, he's just got a presence about him. He's got that aura. He kind of it's to work. Not to be obviously everybody can work. But yeah, that belt, Adam Bolt will make it like the the working belt kind of thing. They just bumps like a motherfucker.
Yeah, I get that. And would it be too cheeky to ask for a best of 7 between these two? Yeah. The title on the line every match. Adam Bolt, Tony Wright. Change the stipulations if you want to. Just give us that 7 consecutive shows. Thank you. Good night. That'll be lovely. And what a feud it'd be. I might be going a bit too far with that one. I don't think JC had acquiesced to that, or Bobby or Ivy, to be honest. Yeah, we all agree again.
Yeah, this is
I promise we didn't talk about this beforehand.
It's just the way things go. Like sort of said, it doesn't make sense, but it's just kind of like you sort of said, you want somebody to hold that belt for a while. Like you say, I love Tony Wright, but for me, Adam's that guy to hold on to it, establish it, and just go. Plus, I also want to see Jason Joshua have a rematch at some point for the belt against Adam. So
yeah, I think if we get a few,
I think the thing is with these predictions, although we're voting the same, there's always a moment at True Grit that takes us all by surprise, and any of the matches there could be a logical something that's planted in the storyline already that just completely changes the composition of the whole match. Like, could Jackie T at one point turn on Adam Bolt? You know, we've not seen any signs yet, but you know, there are shocking like heel turns. JC turning on Wes, it just was boom out the blue. Could Jackie T do it? And there'll be a moment that shocks us. Although we're all voting the same, I think there'll be a match where all three of us are wrong on one of the ones that we've all agreed on.
Yeah, all three of us agreeing so much doesn't mean it's boring or predictable. No, it just means we're all leaning in that same direction, because there's been quite a few times over like you said, over the past few months where we just get caught completely by surprise, and that is the beauty of this promotion of True Grit. I want to be shocked. I want to be surprised. I don't want to be predicting every result. You know, I've had a couple of messages from JC, because he does keep an eye on the Discord and whatnot. And he's told me a couple of times that, you know, I'm too far in his head and, you know, getting stuff right, because I went through a bit of a purple patch last year. But yeah, it's good when we all get it wrong. Like last show, 4 out of the 6 of us predicted Ian Skinner to beat Big T. We'd have lost a lot of money on that one.
What were we thinking, seriously?
But three of us predicted Riley Nova. 3 of us predicted Vucic. Split right down the middle. So when I get the predictions in from Chris, from Tony, when I get Thomas's predictions down, it's going to be dead interesting to see what the others think as well. And anybody else who wants to contribute, if you want to get a late pick in, message on the Discord, message me privately if you've got me on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, anything like that, and I'll get you added on.
It is very varied already. What's coming down on the Discord is a complete mixture. There's not many that have got the same votes as me. There's some that have got the same for some. A few that have predicted Ollie Burns to win. I think Thomas has gone with Ollie Burns. Thomas has gone with Brady for the main event. So, you know, it has all. Yeah, it's all.
I was going to say, I bet Chris Holt's picked Brady.
He's gone for Brady, yeah.
Yeah.
But this is it. Like, I look at Thomas's, because, like, at the last show, I was saying to him, you know, who do you think's going to win this match? Who do you think's going to win this match? And I'm smirking when he's giving me what he thinks. He beat me. So, yeah, he won it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I smirk when he gives me the answer, because he always goes with his heart, not his head, Thomas. Always with his heart, apart from on Brady. It's not with his heart. He's just not seen him lose, so he doesn't think it's possible for him to lose, so he'll always go with Brady. Not because he wants him to, just because he thinks he can't lose.
Well, that's a perfect segue then, because
he's in invincibility mode.
Nick's already nailed his colours to the mast and thinks we're going to get a Kemper win. Braced Phillips versus Kemper, steel cage match. Bobby Cash's call, it was his last of his 3 decisions that he got to make.
Yeah.
And this was it. Keeping all the riffraff out, keeping the regime out, keeping out any interference. Great idea, first of all. And all my years of attending British wrestling shows, only the second ever cage match that I've ever seen in. Yeah. The first one for me was for 3CW up in Hartlepool, way back in, I think it was 2017, 2018. A rarity in British wrestling, which should be a selling point in itself without all the story behind it, because obviously in York, Brady and the regime left Kemper laying, they tied him up with his own chains, beat him down. This is the big one.
Yeah.
And I see the big man coming out on top. And I don't know if this is heart over head thing, because it's a cage match. The regime is still going to try and interfere. There's going to be something. It's a bit like there's always something up JC's sleeve. I just don't think after the last time Kemper's going to be in any mood to take any shit, and he's going to overcome it all, and we're going to get Brady dethroned. That's bell to bell. Do I think that there's a possibility of a dusty finish, as they call it? I think that's what they call it.
Yeah.
Where a certain co-general manager, after some shenanigans, could come out and restart the match. Potentially. But I'm not going to factor that into my predictions. I'm just going to say I'm just going to still go with Kemper. It's a bit heart overhead because I think that a bit like Thomas. How does Brady lose? He's come close a couple of times, but it's not happened yet. So this has got to be the night. I feel like the time's right. The momentum's with Kemper. Yeah, sorry lads, I've been rambling.
No, I'm taking it all in. I'm just taking it all in because I think a few things have stuck. Like I've gone with Kemper. I have put that down. But ever since you said it about Riley Nova taking the throne in the Randy Orton moment, that's the doubt that I have in my head now. Is it going to be Kemper that takes it, or Riley Nova, like in the future? Because I'd like to see that sort of story play out as well. So, although I put Kemper down, I really don't know. I don't know which way to go on it. Yeah, really, really hard. Yeah, I have put Kemper down, but the more that I'm thinking about it now, the more that I'm actually swaying towards Brady. I'm just sort of thinking the Randy Orton moment with Riley. And then I'm thinking, Big T, what's he around here for? You know, I thought that was going to be like for Kemper to go to the top with. Is he going to somehow be involved in it? Like the Big Show, when he made his entrance at the Valentine's Day Massacre, will he come through the base of the ring? Imagine that.
What Big T
Big
coming
T
up like Big Show
going
and
through the bottom of the ring.
JC out of the cage.
yeah. Throwing Brady out the cage. Brady gets the win.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've just got all these wild thoughts in my head, but although I put Kemper, this morning I was like Kemper, and now I'm just, the more that I think about it, the more I think I'm wrong. But yeah, with me guts Kemper, but I'm not sure. I really am not sure.
See, this is the example.
This
is the example what we just talked about previously of we might all be agreeing, but we're not certain. And we all agree, we're all saying it for different reasons, or we're all thinking it in a different way. So, you know, we think this might happen, but we don't know how or why. You know, I said Kemper from the get-go. You know, as I said before his and Brady's first match, you know, I wanted them to have a series of matches. A cage match is the classic. This is the final match between Brady and Kemper. For me, Kemper's got to win it. It doesn't mean Brady can't get it back in the future. You know, it's kind of unheard of for people to get the belt and then lose it and then get it back again. You know, within a British promotion, people generally have the belt once, lose it, and that's it, kind of thing. But there's nothing wrong with losing the belt and then 6 months down the line, you know, Brady getting it back and then Riley gets his moment, kind of thing, or something. But yeah,
fantasy booking. If I was say fantasy booking, just an idea that popped into my head. Imagine Kemper wins it now, and then Brady invokes a rematch for York, and the regime cost Kemper in York, and he doesn't even get a one-show reign.
Yeah, it could happen.
Yeah.
And then Kemper's on the chase again, and I'm still there. But that's the thing. I think no matter what happens, I can't wait to see where it goes. This match alone, I said briefly there the word spectacle. We don't get cage matches in British wrestling.
It's huge. Shout out. I just want to take a second as well. Shout out. I'm presuming, I don't know if it is going to be, but I've got to presume that the cage is going to be from Fight Factory, because you got these two big boys in there, and you need a Fight Factory cage, I would have thought. So if it is by them, you know, this is shout out to Fight Factory, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. Awesome promotion, great people. Quick sidebar, if you get a chance, go check out Lads and Dads podcast as well from FFW. So, but yeah, it's going to be a good meaty cage. That's what I'm looking forward to. It's not going to be a flimsy thing, man. This is going to be skin on steel. This is going to be hefty. It's going to be noisy. It's going to be just aggro, man. It's like say it's going to be spectacular. It's got that big match feel. You know what I mean? This is kind of like this feels huge to me.
Yeah, a cage match, packed house in Left Bank. Hopefully, if anybody's listening to this who was umming and ahhing about coming along, the card is incredible. The card is up there with anything you'll see in the country. Like, I mean, tippy top talent with the matchups, the variety, the quality. It's all there. But the icing on the cake, the cherry on the icing on the cake, is this cage match. Two incredible talents. And when you say Fight Factory cage, Nick, do you mean the blue cage?
Well, just any cage that they provide really is just, it's just their cage is awesome.
I think I've seen it. I think it's a black one. I think I've seen it, but I might be wrong.
I would love for it to be blue just for that old school
solid structure, though.
Yeah,
but that's what I mean. Is that style? Is that style with the fairly big gaps between the bars and not the mesh?
No, it's not like really thin mesh. It's not like the really huge bars like the Hulk Hogan Bundy back in the early 90s. But yeah, it's a good solid structure.
Yeah, that's what I want. Either way, we're getting a cage match. It's the second British wrestling cage match that I've ever seen. There may have been others up and down the country. I'm not an encyclopedia. I don't get to all the shows. Jeebus will know. Shout out to Jeebus. But yeah, anybody on the fence, come along. Get your tickets, get here. Enjoy the atmosphere. I'm presuming there's going to be food on. There usually is some sort of pizza on. Good beer, good company, great wrestling. I can't wait, boys. I'm hyped.
I'm hyped.
I can't wait, because that's, even if you've not been to a show before, you don't know who the wrestlers are, you don't know what the stories are or anything like that. Like, I always go back to that Jacob's Ladder, our first show that we went to. We purely went down just to say hello to Wesley, and we were greeted with a strap match. We were greeted to a ladder match for the inaugural tag team champions. Some absolutely amazing matches that they put on, and if you don't know like all the wrestlers who they are, everyone knows who Rio is if you know anything about wrestling, and a few of the others. But even if you don't know everyone, even if you don't know the stories, if you were to turn up to a True Grit show like this one in particular, you're not going to go home disappointed, and you will be entertained, and you'll be hooked. All it is just getting a ticket and walking through the door and feeling the atmosphere, getting to know the community, and you'll be there for life, like we all are now.
Yeah, and if you do have any questions, just ask. Find me, find Nick, find Paul. We'll be happy to answer any questions. Say hello. Absolutely no problem at all. We'll take you under the True Grit wing, and you can enjoy it as much as we do. That's because I remember as well, Nick. I think you were with us when the True Grit Games last year, when Nash came out of the crowd and went in for the Rumble, and there was a couple of people there saying, "Was he supposed to do that?"
We talked about this before, because he'd been out drinking, hadn't he? It was kind of like, obviously, then he got told like, heads up, stop drinking. We might need you later. All right, cool. But because they'd been stood in the audience with us behind this couple, and then suddenly just walked over to the ring and got in, obviously, their faces were like, what? And they looked back at us, and they looked back at the ring.
First time.
That happened with the first time Nathan Black put his hands on me. A few people thought that, thought that I'd said something, thought that I pushed him a bit too far, and like Nathan said to me, he said, when you blur the lines between reality and kayfabe, he said that's when you know that like it was a good segment. So yeah, it is is funny.
Well, that is true
like
grit at the minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. And like I say, come find any of us. We're always up for a natter. And lads, we're getting to the hour mark. Sorry, Nick, I've kind of taken over, but I had to with the thing there. But I'm going to use your line and say I'm conscious that we're getting close to the hour mark.
Yeah, I don't know what the because we're on StreamYard. I don't know if it's a 60-minute limit or whatever the crack is. I don't want it just to cut off. So what we'll do is just play on the safe side. We've got our predictions. We've hyped the show doesn't need hyping; it hypes itself. But you can obviously see how hyped we are for it as fans. And yeah, hopefully we'll see you there. Like Dan says, if you are there, come say hi. If you want to buy me a drink, cheeky bonus, that's great. I'm not going to say no. But it's a Newcastle Brown. If you do, that's fine. But yeah, gentlemen, I think that's pretty much done and dusted. I'm excited now. Anyway, I need to go before I explode or spontaneously combust. So, Paul, let people know where they can find you on the socials.
Oh, I've got that many. I always say it. I've got that many. I think I've got the Enzerico section on TikTok. Paul Taz Stewart on Twitter and Instagram. Yeah, I have all paintings on there and stuff and little bits of wrestling parts, videos, more with the kids and their journey. So yeah, that's where you'll find me
as well. Anyway, so obviously, if you see Paul tagged in our post and you're not following him, please give him a follow. Mr. Dan's Cans.
Yeah, yeah, if you see me, don't feel the need you have to buy me a beer, but if you come to the York shows and you see me, do buy a beer from me. At Dan Griffin21 on Twitter and Instagram. Twitter's just everything I'm watching on TV, go to the wrestling, yada, yada, yada. Instagram is mostly wrestling stuff because I go to quite a few shows and I don't really do anything more interesting with my life. Kind of opened myself up for some mockery there. But anyway, yeah, all good. I'm involved in other podcast projects as well. I won't reel them off because we're short for time, but on my Twitter, they're all on there. Unbooking the Territory, SJP World Media. Go check it all out.
Sweet. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Obviously, thank you for watching. Hit like, subscribe, share, comment. Hopefully this does get uploaded. Hopefully this has worked. Hopefully you've had the pleasure of watching three grown men get super excited about a wrestling event in Leeds this Friday night. And remember, always work the left side. Goodbye.